with the BMW 3 Series and Mercedes C-Class offering opposing character traits in the compact executive class for decades. Audi's A4 has always struck a cautious path between them. It's never excelled in one department, but has offered a broader set of skills instead. That was fine, until this year, when Jaguar's XE came along. The newcomer seemingly blended all the fun and excitement of the 3 Series with the casual maturity of the C-Class, not to mention its added brake cool factor. So the A4 Executive is now treading a different path, and this is our first drive of it in the UK. Audi is making a big thing of connectivity now being more important than ride and handling. This is where it's pitched the A4, in its mind, this is the techy model in the class. All versions have a good-looking screen with MMI multimedia system and smartphone interface. The latter supports both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Using the options list, the basic equipment can be upgraded to a vast range of larger screens, internet-based apps and services, and also Audi's clever virtual cockpit, which debuted on the TV. The fact that both the 3 Series and XE offer Sat-NAV as standard even in their entry-level models, and the A4 doesn't, leaves a bitter taste in the mouth, though. Up to now, we've only driven the A4s that are expected to take the lion's share of sales across Europe, the 2.0-liter diesels. But for our first test in the UK, we slipped behind the wheel of the most potent model. Until the arrival of the S or early next year, the 3.0 TDI Sline Quattro is the most powerful car. Its V6 packs 268 bishop and 600 Nm of torque. There's also a 215 bishop version with front or four-wheel drive, and while those numbers don't sound very spectacular, the real-life performance is. The 0-62 mph sprint takes 5.3 seconds, and the standard auto fires seamlessly through its 8 gears. With the torque kicking in at only 1,500 rpm, acceleration is very rapid, a sensation that's heightened by the A4 being such a refined package. For this new model, Audi has tweaked the previous 3.0-liter V6. Economy has risen to 54.3 mpg, while CO2 emissions are a claimed 137 g/km. While it's impressive in the straight line, come to a corner and the TDI's initial positive impression falls down a little. Turn the car into an apex, and while the chassis feels agile and flatters the A4, the steering doesn't. It's accurate but pretty much lacking in feel, and even when dynamic is chosen on the drive select system, it only serves to add weight and exacerbate the numb feeling. The Jaguar is leaps and bounds ahead of the A4 here, feeling tighter on turn in and offering steering that brims with feedback. But Audi would point to the four-wheel drive giving extra traction through twisty corners, compared to the XE's rear-wheel drive setup. The quattro system does give bucket loads of reassuring grip, particularly in damp conditions, something that only the BMW 330d drive can come close to. The suspension is a little disappointing, too. The standard S-line setup, lowered by 20 mm, is firm at low and high speed. This is in sharp contrast to the XE's excellent high-speed ride, even on our sport models. It makes the Audi's adaptive dampers a good investment at £600, although the S-line suspension can be deselect and swapped for the usual setup free of charge. As standard, S-line cars get a body kit, part leather trim, LED headlights and sweeping rear indicators, 18-inch alloys, 3-zone climate control and Sat-NAV. It covers